2023 started with an immense desire to step up my creator game. This included experimenting with YouTube's community tab and sharing reflections to connect with my audience better. Based on personal experiences, these were messages to my former self, syntheses that turned out to resonate with others, provoking discussions, and some profoundly inspiring comments. Time passed, and some shared that my posts are usually at the right time based on their situation. Others added that they actually collect them in a folder. Appreciating the support moved by such words, I decided to curate and slightly comment on the best. That is based on likes, engagement, and my personal opinion. Put differently, I'll read the post, say a few words about it, and move to the next in a reverse chronological order. With or without magic, extraordinary results require extraordinary effort. This emphasizes that magic follows a natural law. Hence, a successful working to accomplish something in the physical world of action doesn't eliminate the need to take action. It increases the probability of taking the right kind of such. Become so good, your lack of self-confidence no longer matters. While 95% of self-help books obsess with confidence, this may not be what many of us should focus on. No matter how high, confidence cannot make up for things like actual skills, knowledge, understanding, proficiency, and experience. On the contrary, building those inevitably builds confidence, so do that instead and leave obsessions with self-confidence to someone else. A significant harm that people from the past can do is drag you back to your old self, thoughts, and paradigms. Depending on your current stage with your journey, getting back to your better and current state may require days of effort after dealing with a person from the past. While magic can show you this in a rather drastic way, that is not mandatory. Coupled with honesty, a simple life inventory will give you the clarity needed to make a clear distinction. The people from the past belong to the past. Do not let yesterday determine tomorrow. Going hand in hand with the former, this also doesn't require magic. A mere honesty and remembering you have self-worth will do just fine. Geburah can improve your decision making when in a dilemma, yet it won't increase the number of decisions you can make. Called the sacrificial priest, Geburah sacrifices the wrong or less optimal choices for the greater good. It is the force to use when struggling with critical, long-term choices. On the other hand, it won't help you make up for poor decision making with day-to-day tasks and willpower depletion. Said differently, it increases the quality, not the number of choices you can make. Thoughts, intellect and reasoning are useless at best without Netzach's passions and emotions fueling them. The rational brain only rationalizes/justifies the decisions the emotional has already made. Following your passion is not required. Being passionate about the reasons behind your habits and goals is. As evident in the Own Fortune, Christopher Hart and Baba Schiff's works, Hermetic Kabbalah and behavioral psychology agree that though following your passion isn't always a good advice, being emotionally invested in and even passionate about your habits and goals is essential to success. And as we know, Netzach's urges and drives serve as a basis for the nefesh's instincts, which is something to also consider. Ensure the gurus and coaches you follow do not substitute abusive parental figures. Parents can mess up your childhood, gurus, your life. Avoiding trauma is not always possible for the child, but the grown-up adult has the power to prevent it from affecting their future. A big part of that is breaking free from, not replacing the oppressor. Being a personal favorite, I don't think this needs any additional comments. It's a healthy reminder to take responsibility for your own self and states. On the self-help side, it implies being mindful of gurus, instilling a sense of guilt and shame because of not being enough, disciplined, productive, jacked, etc., reinforcing personality deficits. On the occult, be very careful of organizations you may consider joining and the full spectrum of outcomes that will have. For self-helpers, I suggest Marissa Peer's discussion on being enough, and for occultists, Mark Stavish's egregores. Magic systematically makes one take advantage of the law of attraction based on one's goals and situation. Much of practical magic is based on attuning your sphere of being to a particular current, entity, or force, and this implies immensely increasing awareness of its aspects and manifestation in your and the lives of those around you. Expecting others to give you a prize for overcoming difficulties and obstacles is just as ridiculous as not doing it yourself. Taking yourself for granted is a sure way to deprive your life of joy and excitement. On the contrary, Regularly and reasonably incorporating some self-congratulations and rewarding brings white even when going through darker periods. The more sense-making and enjoyable a ritual is, the more significant the impact it produces. Surely there are caveats to this, as specific names and words impact the psyche no matter what. Yet, generally, the first is crucial for maximally influencing it, whereas the second for actually engaging it. Fear, doubt and insecurities will always be there. Do things anyway. Do not try to build confidence, build tolerance to feeling uncomfortable. Complementing number 2, this also aims to shift your focus from mindless obsessions with confidence. Based on personal experience, the tolerance to feeling uncomfortable is much more doable, powerful and reliable. Plus, this way you have both your comfort and the ability to engage in not necessarily enjoyable yet necessary activities. You simply do them, ignoring the often quite persistent discomfort. Then you revert to enjoying your comfort zone with the peace of mind you actually got the important done. If self-discipline is doing the right things whether you like it or not, this can be viewed as form of self-discipline. Self-confidence isn't required. Truly reliable skills, habits, proficiency and experience are. Practicing magic implies becoming your own philosopher. Influenced by Telemic and LHP books, this encourages finding your own meanings and developing your own cosmology. It also reminds Woki that philosophy should always be the byproduct of life and magic and never precede them. Focusing on building habits automatically builds discipline, yet focusing on discipline doesn't necessarily build habits. A personal favorite, this sheds light on the fact that there's no discipline without habits, and as we know from Carol Dweck, those good at self-control do not rely on willpower, as that's basically a joke. They have the proper habits, routines and systems, of which discipline is a mere byproduct. More on that in my second book. Magic does not eliminate the necessity for habits and systems. It helps you build better ones and be more effective. Self-explanatory, this one also emphasizes that magic doesn't replace the need to strive to do your best in a saya. It facilitates that based on your proficiency. And if you think about it, your habits and systems largely determine your ability to be a vessel for the light. What biohackers do with their body and brain, magicians do with their mind and soul. The first attain peak performance through diet, exercise and supplements. The second, activate particular aspects of their psyche based on circumstances. Both perform experiments, both are alchemists, and being both is the best, as magic can make you aware of the optimization you'll benefit from the most. Develop a personality that won't hinder but support and nourish the growth of your essence. Informed by the fourth way teachings, this one is acquiring the skills and knowledge to better connect with and express your essence. Seeing spirits isn't necessary, experiencing the results of the working is. This aims to prevent focusing on getting visual contact and free your mind for the outcome. Dion Fortune and Scott Stanwicks agree that seeing the spirit may even diminish the working's impact. Magic does not break natural law, it allows you to take advantage of it. Consider the Caverton habits, taking action in a saya, and the law of attraction. Magic is not only in your head, but it usually starts there. As found in magical books, you're the gate between the deeper and the mundane worlds. Sure, synchronicities are not just thoughts, they are experiences encompassing places, media, nature, events, people, etc. Yet, without you, there are no longer synchronicities, and as LHP scholars stress, you're the biggest mystery. Magic primarily doesn't create anything, it sheds light on what's already there to appreciate, accomplish, and overcome. Consider the mentioned regarding attuning yourself to a particular force and its correspondences. The more you nourish your excitement, the less discipline you need. Self-help obsesses about preparing for times when you lack motivation and excitement. I suggest using systems and routines to reduce those to a minimum and then see what works best. This is one of the things I accomplished this year, and you best believe this channel played a massive role. I hope the same applies to you, and you can let me know if it does. I'd like to thank everyone and say the names of Genghis Galahad, Keith Crook, Wichusławi, Maxim Metodiev, Green Goddess 73 and Apprentice 364 on IG. Also to all my Etsy customers. As the methods I follow advocate, you inspire me to strive for excellence with every piece. Speaking of that, the covered posts balance magic and personal development, as to me they go hand in hand. I'd be happy to know if you would appreciate me including more of the second in 2024, or should I do that elsewhere? Either way, I'll be glad to have you on board, and I wish you a phenomenal 2024. Thank you for your time.